Thanks for coming to my channel if you're new here, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back. So today we'll be making okra and rice, and here I have my veggies already prepped and waiting. I chopped up a coleslaw mix, so that's my cabbage. I have some cut up okra, some chopped tomatoes, and chopped onions. In my pot I have about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil heating up, and now we're just gonna add the veggies in. Try not to make a mess like I did. So now that the veggies have been sauteing for about 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to add 1 packet of the Goya seasoning mix. Here I'm adding some additional black pepper, some salt, and then some thyme, some dried thyme. So as the veggies cook, they're going to release their natural juices and they're going to start to break down, and that's what we want because we want it to be at least halfway cooked before we add our rice. Here I'm adding 1 packet of the Goya chicken seasoning. If you don't have that, you can use the Maggi cube or even some chicken bouillon. Okay, so now that our veggies are all cooked and seasoned, it's time for us to add the star of the show, and that is our salted codfish or saltfish. Now, you can find this at the market or the supermarket. Sometimes it's in the produce section, or it may be in the freezer section like the Hispanic or the Latin foods. The brand that is it can be found pretty easily is Goya. So the way that we prepare it, because it's already cured in salt, once you get it home, you're gonna take it out of the package, rinse off the extra salt, and then you're going to boil it to boil the excess salt that is in the fish out of it. I like to boil mine about 2 to 3 times So I'll put it in a pot with some cool water, cover it over, and then just allow it to boil for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'll rinse it out and do that again, like I said, 2 to 3 more times just to get the excess salt out. So the saltfish is already cooked. The next step, we're going to add our rice. I like to wash my rice, so I've added about 3 cups of washed rice into my pot. I'm just going to stir it up with all the veggies and make sure that it all gets incorporated and seasoned together. Nothing is sticking, and I don't have like a pocket of just plain white rice at the bottom. So now I'm going to start to add my water. I added about 3.5 to 4 cups of water in order for the rice to cook and steam. So right here, I'm just making sure to stir the pot and make sure that none of the rice is stuck to the bottom of the pot or any of the veggies, because I don't want it to burn. When you're steaming rice like this, a good rule of thumb is to have the water be about 1 inch or 1 finger length above the rice. So I'm just making sure that I add enough water so that way the rice will steam properly. When we add the water, we want to raise the heat on the stove to the highest to allow the rice to boil. You want to allow the rice to boil for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to turn the stove down to a 1 and cover it so that way the rice can steam. I used a paper towel and of course the pot cover. You can use a piece of foil or some parchment paper. We're going to allow the rice to steam for about 20 to 25 minutes, and by the time it's up, our pot of rice should look like this. So at this point, when we take the cover off of our pot, we want to check to make sure that the rice is done. So if you've lifted your cover and there's extra water at the top, then you want to close the pot back and allow it to steam longer, so that way the rice can be fully cooked and all of the water will be absorbed. At this point also, if you open the pot and then there's no water, we want to get our fork and fluff the rice to make sure that it's fully cooked. We also want to taste the rice to make sure that it's cooked, and taste it to make sure that it's properly seasoned. You have enough salt and pepper to your liking. Now, if the rice is not fully cooked, then we want to add about a 1/4 cup of water and then close everything back up so that way, before it can steam and be cooked properly. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you very much for sticking with me to see how we make this dish. This is a dish from my home country of Trinidad and Tobago, and for me, this is my comfort food. This is like how some people feel about mac and cheese. So thanks for sticking around. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.